Hello YouTubers out there, welcome back to Jordan YT, and this is a review of the DJI Pocket 2. Let's get into this. So the DJI Pocket 2, I've definitely got a lot of things to say about this camera and my opinion on whether you should buy it or not, which definitely is going to be a very interesting one. So I've broken into 3 different categories to actually apply to on whether or not you should buy it or not. Now, the DJI Pocket 2 came out on November 1st of the cursed year of 2020. And pretty much is sort of replacing the DJI Osmo Pocket 1, which is the original, which was the Osmo Pocket. But now DJI rebranded as just the Pocket 2. Now, where does this sit in? This is basically a handheld gimbal, a very small handheld pocket gimbal. Now, what are the advantages of this over a phone or a DSLR? Well, number 1, being that it's tiny and small. Number 2, it already has a 3-axis gimbal, so you can pretty much get absolutely buttery smooth, stable footage no matter what you do with it and how you use it. So the specs that pretty much everyone wants to hear about are pretty much right here. It has a 1/1.7 inch CMOS sensor. Out of the box, it has a focal length of 20mm, equivalent to 35mm format. 15mm with the wide angle lens adapter. It has 2 different settings. It can either shoot a 64 megapixel all around photo, or it can do 16 megapixel single photos, 4K 60, 2760, and 1080p 60. And in those modes it would have 30, 24, and 25 depending on your region, whether you're PAL or NTC. It has a panorama 3x3 shot covering about 180 degrees. We also have time-lapse, hyperlapse, and a slow motion feature. However, this does crop in 4 times into the image. However, it's not too dramatic if it's a big crop if you film yourself. However, if you are filming slow-mo, it's actually pretty decent. I believe which is clocking in at about 120 frames a second. So very nice, and I don't know if there is a recording limit. However, I imagine there would be a heater limit or even a battery limit to the slow-mo feature, so use it sparingly when you can. That's all the good stuff out of the way, but what is it like to actually use? The experience with filming and taking photos is pleasant and fun. Nothing really beats pulling out a camera out of your pocket, turning it on and being able to get some great stable images and video. Now, you may argue, I can do this with my phone, and that is true. However, the Pocket 2 shines in low light situations where digital stab in a phone pretty much breaks down when not enough light is hitting the sensor to actually stabilize the footage. However, with hardware stabilization, such as 3-axis gimbals, they pretty much have no issue with that at all. It's pretty much dependent on the aperture and the size of the sensor, and obviously how much light's going on, but pretty much it's stable all the way around no matter what lighting situation it is in. And also with phone stabilization, it doesn't really look as natural as smooth depending on whatever phones. A lot of other phones have kind of different stabilization and different cropping sizes as well, depending on what brand and make you go with. Now, that pretty much kind of sounds almost like the perfect camera, but not really. There are a couple of pet peeves I have with this. Number 1 being the case itself. Now, a lot of people actually like the case. It keeps it all protected and keeps it all pretty much handheld and in this very small pocket size thing. However, pretty much it is a bit of a pain in the butt to actually take it out, because realistically you've only got these 2 grabbing points to actually pull out the case, and I am pressing buttons beyond belief, and the amount of times I've actually turned this on in the case has been completely frustrating, because the gimbal tries to go into its upright position, but obviously the case is stopping it and it kind of maxes out, so very nerve-wracking of that. So if anything, in my opinion, what DJI should have done is maybe instead do something similar for the Mavic lineup and a lot of their drone lineups, how there's a gimbal protector cover that just goes over the gimbal. So that would have been nice to see on this, and honestly it could have even just gone over the screen as well to keep that all protected, because honestly that would have made it a lot more smaller size in your pocket than having this kind of, I wouldn't say bulky, like it's slim, but once you put the pocket in, it definitely adds a bit of like heft to it. And also when you've got the dual handle, then that's definitely a big chunky rod in your pocket. So I reckon a little small like gimbal protector on top of this would have made it a lot easier. Know that maybe even if the gimbal had like a little bit of room to move around to keep that extra bit of protection going, similar to the waterproof housing you can get. However, this case does come with a few features, such as the inside of the interior is actually got this velvet soft material, so it actually pretty much keeps your Pocket 2 clean and pretty much keeps it all protected from dust and any other things, and at the same time cleans the screen. Now, if we have a look on the inside, there's actually a little storage compartment for the wide angle lens, which is very lovely, and two little connectors which you can take out the joystick handle. All you gotta do is slide that out, and pretty much that comes off as normal. It's meant to come out. And then what you can do, you just take your required input, whether you have USB-C for a lot of Android phones these days, or any other thing else, or even Lightning for other older iPhones. And all you just basically do is you get it, line it up, and it slides right in, being that you can actually connect this to your phone, and then use your phone as a giant screen, pretty much, and it becomes a much larger viewfinder, so you can go around like this. Pretty cool. Now, if anything, I must say that these connectors are actually so strong. Like, I would say they're very tough to get out, but that's a good thing, because like I'd honestly be worried about these if these were a lot looser. These would just kind of just fly out, and like that's a, you know, I wouldn't say expensive, but you know, it's so small that this could easily be lost if it were to fling out itself. So great that it's pretty much like very tough to actually get out. Now, that does provide a problem though. I kind of wish there was a little bit of an easy way, because you got to kind of get two fingers in there to kind of just pry it out, and you've got to probably sit down to actually do this, because you can definitely not do this while walking, because you've also got the Pocket 2 to handle and put down, you know, all the rest of it. So these are very easy to lose, so I'd keep on the eye of caution with that. Now, being that these have a USB-C connector, you can pair this up with the DJI Memo app, which is DJI's app to actually connect the gimbal to, download your footage, and even have a bit more controls with it. So let's just go into it right now. So DJI, yeah, we launch a DJI Memo, and it's just as simple as plugging it in. Actually, what I can do, I can turn this around for you guys. So all it is just plugging it in, turning on the gimbal, and if we turn it around the other way, so facing you, and boom. So usually, now I'm not sure if it's actually passing power to the phone or even passing power to the gimbal. I'm pretty sure it's passing power to the phone, so as in the gimbal's acting like a battery bank, which is a bit of a, so I wouldn't mind. But yeah, here you go, you can see these guys in the viewfinder, and pretty much gives all your controls. Now I've got to flip it around for my sake, so ugh. Now if we head to the home, there's actually a lot of good features, being that there's a area to actually get tips and tricks with this. There's also a little section where people can post their own videos on it as well. So in a way, it's like a little social media place for Pocket 2 users and even Pocket first gen users. Now, going into the camera, we've pretty much got all the basic controls like gimbal, pitch, and roll for the gimbal. Obviously, you can change your photos, pano, video. This also has HDR video, but that's in Pro mode. So keep an eye that when you switch it to Pro mode, it pretty much locks you into 100 megabits a second, and also chunks a lot of bit of the battery as well. Obviously changing your video settings, and you can even download a lot of your footage directly onto your phone. Now from here you can actually, there's a stories function pretty much that goes onto DJI stories. This goes onto the DJI Memo stories, where you can obviously add footage in there, or you can even add it onto Instagram stories and possibly even Snapchat and other social media story places. So yeah, pretty much it's just the Memo app gives you functionality of a larger screen, and obviously to move it around, as in moving the gimbal around just by touching the screen and moving around like that. So it gives you a little bit more of an area to move it around, which is very lovely and very easy to control. The app is built pretty solidly, like it actually works. I've never seen it crashed whatsoever. Nothing bugs out at all. So it's a solid app, and know that if you want to post your clips and photos from in the DJI Memo, then you can easily do that. Now another thing that I want to complain about is this joystick wheel. I will definitely say that with the DJI Osmo Pocket 1, the first gen, how there was a little side scroller that you can either scroll up and down to control the gimbal speed. That was far superior than what we've got here. It's great that we get like a little joystick, but the amount of times I have had issues where actually going left and then you can just go like, it's like an inch going down, and all of a sudden you're going left, but then you're drifting down. Same thing if you're going right, and if you've got a little up, it's gonna go up like that. There's no like really good in-betweens. Like the actual pivot points of where going diagonally in different directions is so small going left and right, it's really hard to control. And obviously you don't really get the speed control with it, whereas the other one you can actually just go zip and then either go up and down, or you change it the other way and go zip and then go left and right, and that way you can control the gimbal speed. Pretty much the gimbal speed you can adjust in software and then reflect it in there. Now if anything, speaking of the software itself, it's decent, but it can use improvements in a way, such as it's such a small surface area to actually work with. They're done really well, better than the GoPro Hero 8. Like that was a nightmare to navigate, and the amount of freezing and in like unregistered touches is very annoying. So other than that, that's pretty much it. But I would say like it's a little slow and chunky to move, but it doesn't really hinder the experience. The only thing that I found issues is a lot of times I would have missed touches, or like it's, you know, maybe misregistrations, but that's only once every now and then, which barely happens. But once you get like a pretty good contact with it, then it's pretty much alright. But other than that, I do wish the screen was a little bit bigger, or even covering a lot more. Maybe if this was moved down a bit more. Well, then again, doing that, so yeah, that doesn't work. So yeah, it makes sense that it's in the middle. Now, pretty much the B-roll that you've been seeing is 100% shot on the DJI Pocket 2. Pretty much this is what the footage you can expect to get out of camera. Let's go to a simple vlog test, including with the creative combo with the dual handle, using a very common microphone and testing the microphone out. So let's go outside. This is what the microphones sound like on the body of the DJI Pocket 2. No microphones added whatsoever. This is just the raw umbral microphones. Hello chickens, I'm being followed by vultures. Also, no wide angle lens. This is pretty much like at full arm's length, full extension. That's probably about, let's say about maybe 45-ish centimeters away from me, and this is pretty much what you kind of can expect when you can kind of keep your head in the center of the frame. This is pretty much the wide angle, which is honestly what a lot of people look for, and it's quite good. But yes, now yes, if we turn around the actual gimbal, it's going to turn around. Basically, there are microphones on each side, and I pretty much should sound either mostly similar, because most of the microphones are actually pretty much the same. Hello chickens. Hello. How you doing? Right, but yeah, other than that, and no, this is what the colors are pretty much like right at the camera. No anything pretty much applied to it, or any like LUTs or anything. Straight color. So, how are the skin tones? Yes, I am uncomfortably close. Yes, but yeah, other than that, it's pretty mint. This is what the do-it-all handle / lav mic really does. This is also done by a wireless connection through the do-it-all handle. So yes, So yes, this also does have a 3.5mm, so if you ever want to run like a lavalier, going to a different microphone, then you can do that. Obviously I don't have all the lavaliers in the world, but other than that, this is actually what the microphone sounds like as it is. Now this is what the DJI Pocket 2 sounds like with the Rode Video Micro, which is pretty much a very popular microphone between everyone because it's small and light and very easy. We've also got the Dead Cat wind muff thing on it as well. But there's one thing I'll go complain about. The preamps on the actual do-it-all handle when you plug into the mic aren't that very good. Are really not that great. I don't think it either puts enough power to the actual microphone itself, giving it a nicer signal, or it's either the preamps in the do-it-all handle that's not really nice. So maybe if you were to have like a powered microphone, whether that be the Rode NT-GT, however, that's going to be like this big hunkin' shotgun microphone hanging out the bottom. Same thing with either Saramonic. They've got a few powered microphones and maybe a few other ones by Rode that aren't really going to do its case, because maybe that might be the thing. If getting a powered microphone to the signal might do it any good. And also, this is how it's doing in direct sunlight. Another good thing, how do you do in the sun? Very well lit. And if we do this, how's it? Oh god, that is horrible. Oh no. Oh boy, I mean that is full lit sun, no clouds. Now if anything, we're going to be doing a stabilization test. This is pretty much me walking full arm's length out, and I'm not trying to walk steadily. If anything, this is just me normally walking, and same thing, I'm letting vibrations go into my arm, which is going into the camera, which I can definitely easily see. Now I'm gonna try and do more of a ninja walk, if you will, by going balls of your feet first. Now I'm actually gonna try and, so yeah, that's what it pretty much looks like, how it is. I know a lot of people kind of do it like the ninja walkway with a lot of other normal gimbals. Now I'm actually going to try and just bend my arm a little bit and let like some vibrations go out. How's that looking for you? So pretty much kind of like trying to control the gimbal and get it as best as I can to stay in the center of me. So now, this is just going to be a full pelt run. I'm not going to focus on keeping it stable through my arms. I'm not going to focus about keeping anything. I'm just going to be full run. Here it is, full arm's length. Is there any shakiness? How's the stabilization? So yeah, that's pretty much what you can expect if you want to run from it. I've definitely run going up on hills and uneven hills, and honestly, the gimbal performs extremely well. Very well. It is carousingly stable for what it is. Even while running, this thing has shocked me on how stable it is. And now you can definitely put it out into in a headwind. However, I could think it only takes up to maybe about 40 Ks or maybe 60 Ks of headwind to kind of like freak out the gimbal, then you start to get the jitters. So keep that in mind. But other than that, the stabilization and how the actual gimbal rotates and how much free room it's got was definitely superior. Microphones on this thing are absolutely incredible. Like, honestly, these microphones are so fantastic. Keeping like, it pretty much captures a whole surround sound experience, so pretty much everything from left and right, front and back is captured in very nice details. And honestly, like, they are so damn good. Like, they are so damn good. It is fantastic what these microphones can do. Obviously, if there's like very gusty wind just going, you're definitely gonna hear the whole kind of thing. So yeah, like, honestly, these microphones surprised the heck out of me. Very impressive microphones and hard to beat. Now, let's come to the price. I personally have the Creator Combo, which comes to about $700 for me. Let me just get a quick price check, actually. Okay, what do we got? $599. Oh my god. So, prices as of recording, the Pocket 2 just in its base form, so the normal Pocket 2, what you get with it, pretty much what you'll get with it like this, $599. The Creator Combo, $799. Holy cow. That is quite the price. Now, here comes to the part where do I recommend it or not? This is a very challenging one because here's the thing. The Pocket 2 is obviously competing with its predecessor and a few other pocket companies such as Fiyu and Moin, I think their name is. They pretty much come with that with either like Pocket 2 clones or pretty much a competitor to the Pocket 2. I haven't quite looked at the prices of it yet, but honestly they're looking promising. However, they don't really have the 3.5 milliamp, which is kind of a deal breaker for me. Do I recommend the Pocket 2? I do in two regards. However, here we go. So, let's start with the Creator Combo, the combo that I've got. The Creator Combo, if you're obviously a YouTuber or even someone that needs like a microphone in, because that's pretty much why you're buying the Creator Combo. You're pretty much buying it for the microphone in. I do not recommend it. It is pretty much, you could probably buy the do-it-all handle by itself, which is definitely going to be added up to cheaper, which I imagine will come up to about like 600 something. Yeah, about 600. Yeah, probably about like 680, but like even then, that's still very expensive. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed with it as well because the preamps in it don't really give enough power to the microphone. So yeah, preamps in it, not that great. The wireless mic though, alright. However, the wireless mic I would have much preferred if there was like a battery bank added to it, whether that from DJI, like here's the thing, I would have taken a battery bank over a wireless mic any day. So whether that adds more battery to it, whether that adds more battery power to the actual Pocket 2, because the battery life on this thing is kinda not that great. You're probably expecting like really heavy use, like you'd be lucky to get an hour out of this thing. But if you were to really conserve it, you could definitely get through it for a whole day. Then that's pretty alright. Now, yes, you could solve this issue by having a power bank in your pocket and running like a little umbilical cord to it pretty much. But yeah, a lot of people don't really want to do that. But if you really love this thing, obviously people would do that. However, do I recommend the creator combo for YouTubers? If I look at the creator combo and what it comes with, it's pretty much aimed for people who are doing vlogging and pretty much self-talk and stuff as well. Maybe even travel vlogs as well, and traveling included. Personally, I don't think I recommend it for that specific use. It's pretty much, you could definitely get better things for cheaper. So like, I know you could probably get like secondhand stuff like the G7X Mark II. You could probably get that for like 300, maybe 400 used, and a few other good cameras that have mic in and honestly have a bigger sensor than what this has. So exactly, creator combo, do not recommend, even if you're a YouTube content creator, unless you really, really need it. But other than that, do not recommend it. Now, the normal Pocket 2 in its base form, it's a very challenging one, because here's the thing. Not only is the Pocket 2 competing with other competitors, it's also competing with this, your mobile phone. Because here's the thing, mobile phone technology has come from a very long way. Colors have obviously gotten better, even though like it's all processing and a lot of dynamic stuff that the brand is doing for like Samsung and Apple. And phone stability has gotten better. Know that there's been 2 phones so far that have actually added like movable sensors. And honestly, I don't think it won't be too long from now, maybe another year from now, where there'll actually be either the lens will be optically stable or the sensor itself for that lens, depending on which camera it is, will be stabilized in the sense as well. So here's the thing, eventually gimbals like these, I reckon, will be killed off by that. But do I recommend it now? Here's the thing. If you're someone that's using your mobile phone pretty much for everything, for both photo and video, because obviously convenience and all the rest of it, easy posting, and you like the way it looks and all, you know what? All the power to you, that's very great. Here's the thing, I believe you can buy a handheld gimbal. There are some cheap ones out there, like 50, maybe $100, but let's say a really good quality one, like one from DJI itself, like pretty much what this thing is actually really competing with. Oh god, I just turned it on. No, I didn't. That's another thing, the buttons are just, bleh. Buttons are very easy to press. That power button's so easy to press. Oh god. Here's the thing, for $249, like pretty much almost half, maybe even a little bit more, you can buy a mobile phone gimbal that can take more weight than what the Pocket 2 can have. I know that it's on your phone already. Obviously the advantages of that is that pretty much all the footage and photos are now on your phone. The only disadvantage is the size of it. It is definitely a lot bigger than this. Like if anything, most mobile gimbals, the actual handle is this, and then you got like some rinky dinky, 3-axis gimbal that's staying up here. So for $249, so for $249, basically 2 Pocket 2s, you can buy 2 mobile phone gimbals, and that you could pretty much get away with that. So if you pretty much are using your phone and for like photos and videos, pretty much honestly buy yourself the DJI Memo 4 or even another mobile gimbal. Personally, I haven't tried on any myself because I haven't really needed to, but here's the thing, it's a lot cheaper than actually buying the base form of this. Now, if you are upgrading from your phone to a gimbal, this is probably a good way to start. A very expensive way to start though, because there's definitely the other 2 competitors are a bit cheaper, so keep an eye out for those. I would say it's definitely expensive in this form. However, all around, if this was in my pocket and I had a battery bank, then like this would be my only camera. Like, the microphones are amazing, stabilization are amazing, colors are amazing. It's got all the features that I possibly need for photo and video. Pretty much a really great stable travel camera, vlog camera, and just all around like fantastic rugged camera to bring with you wherever you go. But yeah, it's super specific though, really super specific. But yeah, if anything, if you are looking for a small handheld gimbal and you're probably, here's the thing, maybe you're already looking at the Pocket 2 to buy and you're looking at either both combos and you do YouTube creation, honestly, just get the Pocket 2 standard edition. Like that, like the creator combo, nah, not worth it, man. Like here's the thing, the microphones on this are like killer. And I imagine you'll be using this for B-roll and some other stuff anyway. And handle on. It like extends more, plus a microphone. You've got like this big chunky thing that's probably about this big. It is ridiculous. So yeah, if anything, if you're a creator that's actually looking to buy the Pocket 2 and you definitely want to buy it but you don't know which one to get, just go with the standard base combo. You will not regret it, trust me. So yeah, that is where I stand for the Pocket 2. If anything, I will be actually selling mine, because yes, I'm actually looking to replace it. Because here's the thing, reason why I'm selling mine is because if I was to actually choose between this and a drone, because the drone's practically the same price, the DJI Mini 2, I would 100% go with the drone. Because I could do so much more with the drone as in terms of flight footage, and pretty much kind of getting, even though the sensor in this is like a ton, like we're talking like a couple of inches bigger. Come on, be real with yourself, come on. Like, it's seriously not going to be a night and day difference. It's practically going to be the same, except difference will be it's flying in the goddamn air. And yeah, pretty much that. So yeah, if anything, if you're looking to buy the DJI Mini 2 and the DJI Pocket 2, I would go with the Mini 2 over the Pocket 2. Guaranteed. You're going to get a lot more use out of it. This concludes my review of the DJI Pocket 2. Do I recommend you buy it? If you sit into any of those categories, obviously apply it to yourself. But yeah, overall, I don't really hate this camera. I still love it. It's still a great piece of technology, but it's not for me. And it's aimed for a very specific type of people, whether that be the creator combo. Even though the creator combo, I wouldn't say it's really good for content creation and YouTube or any other stuff like that. The Pocket 2 in its base form, just the normal combo one, just the normal one, is definitely worth something, but it's only for that really specific group. People who are upgrading from their phones to either a better camera and maybe to have like more stabilization. That is pretty much about who the Pocket 2 is for. But it's still, overall, build quality is amazing, and what it comes with is amazing, and like, it's still a very nice camera, but it's not for me, and I don't think it will be for everyone. So that concludes my review of the DJI Pocket 2. Please, if you are looking into buying this camera, I hope this review helps you in a way to either make that purchase decision, because to give my side of the story and help with all the rest of it. I'm guaranteed you're looking at probably other reviews as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's really like to actually use the Pocket 2, both in the normal version and the creator combo, so you can apply yourself to there. But anyway, that's going to do it for me for this video. So thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the links and annotations for more videos that I've done. Like, comment, and subscribe today. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.